Welcome to online learning prepared by Teacher Edward James from Patungsugsa 5 Anuban Taksin Bancay International School. This video recording is for educational purposes only. My name is Teacher Edward and I am your speaker for today. Before we are going to proceed to our new topic today, I would like you to remember what did we study previously. Okay, we study about push and pull. We also study force, and force is categorized into two: non-contact force and contact force. It means contact force, it involves touching an object, and non-contact force is no physical contact like magnets or gravity. Those are examples of non-contact forces. Alright, now our lesson for today is increasing and lowering friction. Today we are going to study how to identify the effect of friction force in an object. We are going to study also what is friction force in action. What are the factors in changing the friction force, and how to lower and increase the friction force. For our vocabulary words today, I would like you to turn to read or repeat each word after I will read them. First one, lubricant. Lubricant. Number 2, forklift. Forklift. Number 3, resistance. Resistance. Number 4, rough. Rough. Number 5, smooth. Smooth. Number 6, the last number, worn out. Worn out. Good job. So let's study what is a lubricant. A lubricant is a substance such as oil or grease. It is used to minimize friction, especially in an engine or component. How to use lubricant in a sentence? Squirt in a lubricant on a regular basis. Number 2, forklift. Forklift is a vehicle with pronged device in front, and we use it for lifting or carrying heavy loads. Example, drive the forklift here so we can use it to carry heavy boxes. Forklift. Number 3, resistance. Resistance is the impeding, slowing, or stopping effect exerted by one material thing on another. Example, air resistance would need to be reduced by streamlining. So resistance, if you are fond of exercising, that like the one that you can see here, the girl is trying to stretch the resistance band. For at first it will become very easy for you to stretch, but the longer it will go, the stronger it will get, the stronger the resistance will get. So that is the meaning of the word resistance. Number 4, rough. Rough means having an uneven or irregular surface, not smooth or level. So just like the one you can see in the picture, it's like a rough road. Okay, there's a lot of things that are rough there's a lot of objects that we can see that are rough, like this wall you can see on my back. It looks smooth, but it is actually not smooth, it is rough. Okay. Number 5, smooth. Smooth is having an even or regular surface or consistency, free from perceptible projections, lumps, or indentations. Example, smooth, flat rocks. Number 6, worn out. Worn out means damaged or shabby to the point of being no longer usable. Okay, so for example, Teacher Edward will buy new shoes because my old shoes is already worn out. Okay, worn out. You can use the word worn out like that. Now for our vocabulary exercise, you are going to match all the terms with their corresponding meaning. Alright, so I want you to pause the video and answer this one. Okay, pause the video now and come back if you're finished. Okay, I hope you got all the correct answer. So number 1 is rough, uneven surface, forklift. We use it to carry heavy stuff. Lubricant, letter F, engine oil in the machines. Smooth means balance or balance and plain surface. Resistance is slowing or stopping effect. And the last one, worn out, letter C, no longer usable, worn out. Okay, I hope you got all the correct answers. Good job. Now let's go to the friction force in action. What sport is this? This is golf, right? Now, when you play golf, when you hit the golf ball forward, it will move in the same direction that we hit it. But if we hit it to the left, it will go to the left. If we hit it going to the right, it will go to the right. But have you noticed that at first, when the golf ball will move very, very fast, but eventually it will start to slow down until it will stop, right? It will move slower and slower until it stops. So we understand that there is another force that tries to stop the golf ball from moving, and that is exactly our lesson today. It's all about friction in force. Everything that goes, everything that moves will eventually stop because of friction. All right. Here are factors affecting friction force. There are only 2 factors here. The first is the weights. Okay, of course, for a heavy object, the force pressing on the surface is very high, so the friction is high. That is why if the friction is high, we cannot push it easily. We need to have a lot of force so that we can push the heavy box. On the other side, for a light object, the force pressing on the surface is low. Okay, so if the friction force is low, we can push it easily. So in simple terms, I want you to remember that if the friction force is high, it will go slow. If the friction force is low, you can go fast. You understand? I will repeat again. If the friction force is high, it will go slow. But if the friction force is low, it is very fast to move. Okay, or we can move easily. The second factor affecting friction force is the contact surface. We can see here that there's a smooth surface and there's a rough surface. Which one do you think you can push the object easily? On a smooth surface or rough surface? Very good. It is in the smooth surface. But why? Because smooth surface have less friction. It means that since the surface is smooth, we can push the box or the object easily. If the surface is rough, it is very difficult to push an object. Okay, so it's all about rough and smooth surfaces. Okay, so at this point in time, we are going to proceed to the advantages and disadvantages of friction, the good effects and bad effects of friction in our life. First, let's start with disadvantages. Our shoes will be worn out because of friction. Simply because of friction, we need to buy another shoes because our shoes, if after using for a few years, then it will start to be worn out. Okay? Another example of the disadvantages of friction is we have difficulty in moving things on the floor. We cannot move things on the floor. That's why the man you can see in the picture, he actually put some lug or the things here so that it will roll and the friction will become low and you can push it easily. Okay? The next one here, disadvantages of friction is the car tires will be worn out. Okay, so that's why your mother or father, you can ask them how many times or how many years can a car tire will be replaced. Probably they will answer 2 times, or 2 years or 3 years, something like that. This is another disadvantage of friction. Now let's go to the advantages of friction. We can walk and run without slipping. It means you will not slide if we walk and run because of friction. If there is no friction, we cannot walk properly because all of us will slide. You understand? Next one, we can hold things on our hands, right? We can hold things on our hands because of friction. If there's no friction, you cannot hold an apple, you cannot hold a tumbler, everything will fall down. But because of friction, we can hold it. Okay? Then, the last one, our car tires can grip the road without slipping. So, it will not slide, the car will not slide because the car tires can grip or can get hold of the road. Okay, now how to lower the force of friction? How to make the friction force low? We can use a lubricant, okay, in our engine and some parts also, so that the friction will be less and our car will not be damaged. The next one is if we have heavy loads, we use a forklift, right? We use a forklift so that we can carry them easily. The third one is we build roads that are smooth so that the cars can move easily. Okay? And last one, we polish surfaces on objects like the slide. Okay, so the baby can slide or the children can play on the slides because the friction is very less, because it's very, very, very smooth. Alright, now how to increase the force of friction? Of course, we can buy new tires so that the friction will be strong or will be high and you can drive properly. The next one is the studs on a soccer boots help increase the friction. Okay, so when you play football, you need to wear this one because you don't want to slide while you are playing, right? So this is very important. Last one, the brakes on the bicycle help in slowing down or stopping. So there is a friction there also that we use. And here we design the edges on the floor to be rough. Okay, so the edges of the stairs, you know stairs, right? When we step on the stairs, there is a little bit of a rough surface that they put on the edge so that we will not slide, because it will be very dangerous for us to walk on the stairs without these edges, rough edges on our stairs. Okay, so I hope you understand our lesson for today. Now let's have our practice. Which substance you should put in your hands to make the friction force strong so that you can hold the tumbler easily? Soap or chalk powder? Correct. The correct answer is chalk powder, right? We use chalk powder so that we can grip or we can hold the tumbler easily. Next question. Which of the following has a low friction? The smooth floor or the rough one? Which one has a low friction? The correct answer is option 1. Very good. Now, I think that you are ready for our quiz today. Here is the link for our Google form and for our quiz today. I hope that you can finish it on time, and that's all for today. And thank you for coming. Thank you for listening to Teacher Edward. Always be safe and see you again next time. Bye!